Hello, everybody. Hi, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here on Periscope. Thank you so much for being here on Facebook Live. I appreciate it. We are going to do a quick broadcast about an intimate discussion. And I asked you in the title of my broadcast title here, what does that mean to you? When I say intimate discussion, what does that mean to you? And so if you guys want to pop in your answers, I'd be happy to see them. You can do that on Facebook. You can do that on Periscope. Pop in your answers while you're doing that. I am going to introduce myself. Sorry, we've got a weird halo effect here over on Facebook. That's hilarious. Sex or poop. That's those two things do not go together. Nakedness. Okay, there you go. I know, right? That's a riot. That is so funny. Don't know what's happening there. Let's move this camera up just a little bit. Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Leslie. I have a website. It is gotokitchens.com. There is nothing for sale over at gotokitchens.com. The only thing that I want you to buy is I want you to buy into your own health. So, hey Sonia, hey Harlow, I saw everybody popping in over there. Thank you so much for being here. A close connection with nothing hindering relationship. I love that, Wanda. That's a beautiful description. I love that. That's lovely. Yeah, that's not a website. Well, it may be, but it's not mine. GoToKitchens.com is mine. I do believe that intimacy is directly related to your health. I believe that your relationships that you form in life are directly related to your health. So I am here to help you have a light bulb moment. I am a light bulb expert. I like to call myself that because I like for people to have light bulb moments before they get disease, before they get heartache, before they feel loneliness, before they feel entrapment, before they feel any of those things. I like to have you have a light bulb moment in your health, in your emotional health, in your spiritual health, in your physical health, all of those things. I'm a 3-year cancer survivor and I've learned a lot about myself through that process, but I don't want you to have to go through that process to learn about yourself. So today, this whole week, actually, we are going to be talking about intimacy and how that relates to food, how that relates to self-worth, how that relates to a lot of things that affect our health and affect our physical being. So I will try to keep up with comments. I know that there's going to be a lot of opinions here, and I will try to keep up with comments the best that I can. You can comment on Facebook Live. Just type it right in. I can see it live on this broadcast, and I will respond to that. Thank you for the 4 viewers there. Thank you for the Periscope viewers that are over here as well. We have 2 cameras broadcasting simultaneously on Facebook Live and Periscope. So I'm going to ask you, if you are on Periscope, right down here in the corner, you can actually share it with your followers. I would love it if you would share it with your followers. That would mean so much to me. You can share it on Facebook. You can share it on Twitter. You can share it within your followers here on Periscope. If you're, hey Leslie, it's good to see you. There's Leslie Gustafson. If you are not following, I'm going to say your name right tomorrow. I promise you, Leslie. But if you're not following Leslie, go follow her because we are doing a blab tomorrow night. Thank you for saying that because I'm going to introduce that next. So if you're on Facebook, you can also invite followers right now. You can share this broadcast out while it is live, and people can come in and interact if that's something that you want to do. So yeah, Facebook Live is pretty new. It's pretty exciting. So we're broadcasting both places right now. So let's talk about what this week is going to look like. I am super excited about this week. This week looks like this. Today, we are going to define intimacy. Today, we're going to take a moment and we're going to define intimacy. What does that mean? What do the words intimacy, intimate, what are the definitions of intimacy? We're going to define that today. I think I have some things that may shock you. We're going to talk about creating intimacy. We are going to, that this week, so the next few days, we're going to talk about creating intimacy. We're going to talk about food and intimacy. We're going to talk about food that encourages intimacy. And we're going to talk about food that discourages intimacy. So all of those things are going to be discussed this week. I have a lot of exciting stuff exterior to Blab and to Periscope, exterior to Periscope and and Facebook Live. I'm getting all of my things confused. I'll get it. So besides these live broadcasts that are at noon Mountain Time all week this week, Monday through Friday, I am doing a couple of extra things. And one of those things is tomorrow night on blab.im. You can find this on the Go To Kitchens Facebook page. You can go there and join at 6:30 Mountain Time, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. I am doing an interview with Leslie Gustafson, who is the co-author of Amazing Intimacy, and she is our local Channel 31, Fox 31 Denver sex and marriage expert. And she and I are going to be I'm going to do an interview with her tomorrow, and we're going to talk about intimacy and food and what the connections are. So we're going to get an expert opinion. I know, there she is right there. That's me. And we're going to get an expert opinion about that. So pizza has to be an encourager, right? Come on, beer and pizza. That has to be perfect for intimacy. Not. So, yes. I know, I've seen that too, Evan. Evan over here at Facebook Live says intimacy equals into me I see, which I think is really, really an important message there. So we're going to talk about that. I got my ticket already. Awesome. Yeah, you can go sign up for the Blab at Go To Kitchens. You can find me there. So on Thursday night, Robin and I are going to be doing a Blab as well. Talk about intimacy. Robin and I are going to be sharing with you how we journeyed back to intimacy, how we got our intimacy back. And I'm not talking about sex here. I'm talking about intimacy. And we're going to define that in just a second. How we found our intimacy again. We had lost it through the fact that to be truly seen, known, and understood. I love that. So on Thursday, Robin and I are going to be on Blab together. We're going to be in the same house but separate, so we can do interview form. And we are going to talk about my personal journey with cancer, how that affected him, and how we have journeyed back to getting intimacy back into our lives. So yes, absolutely. Love and closeness. Absolutely. So let's define intimacy. Let's define the word intimate, actually. Let's go to the root word. We're going to jump right in here. So the root word of intimacy is intimate. So the definition is a close, familiar, and usually affectionate or loving personal relationship with another person or group. That is the definition. In the 1640s, intimacy, so intimate plus CY, became a euphemism for sexual intercourse. So the word intimacy doesn't mean sexual intercourse. It means it can lead to it, but it doesn't mean that. And so it is synonymous. We think as soon as we hear the word intimate, every single one of us thinks about sex. It's what we've been taught. It's the word that we see. Yes, you can experience, Harlow, you're spot on there. You can experience intimacy with anyone. Have you ever heard the term, it was a very intimate room. It was a very intimate crowd. That meant, I say that a lot, especially when I'm talking or thinking about like a concert venue. And I say to Robin, I was like, that was a very intimate concert venue. And it means that we had a closeness, that I felt a connection, that I felt a bond, that I was with other human beings in a close space. And so that's right. Romance changed in meeting. Absolutely. Yes, it is a personal, close connection with other living beings. Now, you could have intimacy with the forest. You could have intimacy with a plant. You could have intimacy with your dog. Those are different things that you can. So we have sexualized the word, and kind of rightfully so. I'm not saying, oh my gosh, the bad people that sexualize that word. I'm just saying that we have sexualized the word, but it really isn't its true definition. Robin and I'm going to give a little bit away here that we'll talk about more on. It is a vital part. Absolutely. I'm going to give a little bit away. But Robin and we had always thought about intimacy meaning sex. We were going through some counseling, and we had always thought about, because he was having some post-traumatic stress syndrome and it was affecting our sex life. And we went through some counseling, and the counselor said, I want you guys to focus on intimate moments. And we're like, that's the problem. We can't. and he said, Those sexualizers. Jeez, oh Pete, I know, right? And we were like, we can't. That's the problem. And he's like, no, I'm talking about intimacy. I'm talking about being with one another. I'm talking about looking into each other's eyes and having a conversation, facing that moment, facing that time, just hugging each other and holding each other. And, eventually that, because we're man and wife, we're husband and wife, that would often lead to something sexual, but not always. But it was very, very healing for us. So let's talk about emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy can be had with anything or anyone. It is a connection that we feel to something or someone. That is what emotional intimacy is. It depends on trust. It solely depends on trust. You have to trust that person or that thing. And that is where that emotional intimacy comes from. It is all up here. I know. Yeah. It's going to be a great blab. So it is not sexual intimacy. It can be shared with partner. You can share it with your partner in life, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever is partnering in your life. You can share it with friends. You can share it with family. You can share it with colleagues, and you can even share it with your pet. And I keep looking at my notes, so you guys bear with me. I want to make sure that I get this. So, yes, very good, Harlow. Man, Harlow, you're nailing it, girl. You are nailing it. Intimacy is the heart. Sex is the body. I love that. That's beautiful. But sex can also be the heart as well. So yes, it is a vital. Lolita, you're exactly right. Trust is a vital part of that. So you lost your connection. I'm sorry about that. So you're sharing your deepest thoughts, your deepest dreams, your deepest emotions with those people. This can be with a friend. I have a girlfriend. She and I know each other backwards and forwards. I know in fact, I think she's on my Facebook Live right now. And you know who you are. But she and I know each other backwards and forwards. I can almost read her mind. She can almost read my mind. I know when she's having a good day. I know when she's having a bad day. I know all these things about her. And it's because we share a very intimate relationship. There are no holds barred. We trust each other completely. I trust when I tell her something, she is stuck it in a vault and it is not coming out unless I want to talk about it again. That is, there she is, Jennifer Davey. This is the type of relationship that she and I have. Now I have several girlfriends like this, but we have an intimate relationship, and it is not a sexual relationship. It is just pure intimacy. We know each other backwards and forwards. I have read over and over in my readings, and I'm just passing, I'm not some wizard at this. I'm just passing information that I've been reading for weeks about this to talk about this subject with you guys. I've had this week plan leading up to Valentine's Day for quite a while. And so, I've been reading and over and over and over and over again, I keep reading. Couples who practice emotional intimacy are more likely to be closer and more comfortable with one another. So if you're in a relationship, if you're in a sexual relationship, if you're in a sexual relationship with one another, if you have an emotional intimacy that you share, that is going to make you better as a couple. Janie. That's very funny. But if you have an emotional intimacy, that is going to make you, more comfortable as a couple, because you share your deepest, darkest thoughts, fears, happiness, sadness, all of those emotions run deep if you're sharing those as a couple. So, and then the last thing that I have to say about emotional intimacy is that being able to communicate, having that comfortableness to communicate with one another is key. It is the ticket. It's the ticket. You have to be able to communicate that emotional intimacy with the people that you share it with. So if I am disgruntled and I share an emotional intimacy with somebody, then I need to be able to speak that disgruntled thought out to them. I need to say, gosh, you know what? I hate it when you do that. That's a strong word. I don't like it when you do that. So is there anything that we can do to keep you from doing that? If I can't communicate that, then I can't have that emotional intimacy.